Alright, hello, welcome to eluukkanen hangout. Stream will start very shortly, I assure you that. Few things before I start, I have to configure things, share this to social media. Just wait and we're going to start very soon. How is your day today? Let me know. Mine, it's certainly a good one because army is over. Goddamn. I've been waiting this a long time, such a long time. So I prepared this stream for you. I put a lot of time and effort to this. You will see, and I hope you enjoy it. So, without further ado, in a few minutes we shall begin. Oh yes, it has been quite a while away, but streaming is and has been in my mind, back of my mind, a lot of time. I want to get back to it. I so much want to get back to it. Oh my. Anyways, just a few things. Still 1 minute. Let's see. Does it reach people? And I think we can start. Yeah. Alright. So without further ado, let's open the thing.
Music out of the mainstream. eluukkanen.com.
Hello there, my name is eluukkanen, and welcome to eluukkanen hangout session. So, as you see, I have made this kind of a stream where I'm going to be, having a weekly hangout. The thing is that a long time I really wanted to get more personal. I've been seeing a lot of YouTube channels and I think there's a gap between the viewer and the actual YouTuber. I can't really say I'm a YouTuber yet, but I really enjoy doing it, so I want to get more into, direct contact with you, just to speak experiences and much more. As you might see, I haven't slept quite much. I have had a sickness of the army. Also, the army schedule has kind of been printed into my mind, so for some time it will still stick to the 6 a.m. schedule, which I'm not happy about, but I have to get more, sleep early and stuff like that. But anyways, eluukkanen hangout, what's that about? So, it's about music, life. These streams, I've been preparing them. They are not just like random streams where I just talk everything I have in mind, like my last stream from the army. These are more focused. I have, written down notes. Also, we're going to talk about certain things. We're going to have chats. We're going to see videos. We're going to see pictures. A lot of intriguing stuff, which I think you are interested to see. Also, I'm still preparing it, as you see. In future versions in this place, there should be a background music to it, but I wasn't able to figure out background music which would have been, not being, kind of taking a focus from the whole stream. Kind of a background music which is not that present in there, so I still have to figure that out and other things as well. But I'm still trying to get into it and I'm excited about it. So, I wanted to show that eluukkanen is coming. The new content is coming there, but I want to do a slow relaunch of eluukkanen in YouTube because the old content, I have that, but I want to get it back to the schedule. I want to make remakes, piano improvisations, and make sure that composing streams and that work before I start making new content. And at January 2018, you will start seeing new stuff which I've been preparing. But before that, it's still going to take some while. But don't you worry, it's coming. So, about army. I'm so glad it has ended. Army has been rough. I can't believe it. It feels like, I've only had 1 day, 2 day, or 3 day holidays past 6 months, and it feels like today I would be, marching again to my local bus, and that would take me back to the barracks and stuff. I'm so glad that's not the case. But it's TJ0. In that video title there is this TJ0, which means the amount you have service left in army. Everybody starts either with 340 or 165, and luckily I was the latter one. The countdown began from that very day, and the beginning was quite, it was quick. But now, in kind of a middle and the late parts, it started to be very sluggish. Many of my friends, my employees said, "Oh, that didn't take that much time," and "Oh, the time flies fast." But to me, it didn't feel like that. To me, it was like every single day away from music felt bad. But TJ0, what that is, it's people in army write that down with pencils to the walls of it's like graffiti kinda, but it's hidden from clear sight. People write it in bathroom walls or in corners or in those kind of places that people want to brag about how much DE or service they have left. And it's not accepted there, but it's kind of a running joke and kind of a culture in army. It is its own place, own village kinda. So I'm glad my TG was 165, because if it would have been 340, I would be still there. That would mean that I would be still in army. No YouTube. But I'm glad it's over. It's not for me, but I understand that it's important, army and protecting the nations and stuff. But I lost so many great content making opportunities. Mario Odyssey, new Star Wars, the Shadow of War. I wanted to make content on those and countless others. But unfortunately, you can't blame the army time. You have to go there and be there 6 months. You can't really focus on things while you're there. That's why a few of my composition friends didn't go to army. It's they said that it would take too much time from their civilian lives, and I can see what they mean, but yeah, it's complicated. And I don't blame anyone who doesn't go to army, but I also see it as very important. So army experiences. First, I want to show you some army pictures here. Let me just have you shown. This is from our group. We have these rooms in our barracks, and this is I took this from last days. People were just doing this kind of thing called rötvaus, and that means if you are not in army, exercising in army, but you don't have any other things to do, so you just be on your bed and don't do anything, because you can't really do much in army. Your actions are controlled. You can just go, hey, I have free time, I go to supermarket or things like that. You have your mobile phone, but even that is very controlled, so you wouldn't have much options in ways of spending your free time while at service. So that's why the word rötvaus is some kind of a stressful kind of waiting period. That's what it means. Hello, Winnie Johnson, great to see you. How are you doing? Welcome to eluukkanen hangout stream. We are just watching and seeing, having a stream about army period and just celebrating the fact that I'm back. Very selfish celebration. But that's the stream about. I was showing just pictures from the army room from the last days, and this is showing that people are doing rötväys activity. How is it going for you, Vinnie Johnson? But next picture. This is our group picture. It's a kind of a tradition that after the beginning period you had this group picture with kind of a weird army costume mixture with you. And perhaps you recognize me from this picture somewhere, perhaps, or perhaps not. It's an intentional choice that people have masks and so forth, because people share this, and that's why I really wanted to share this, because we had really great beginning group, except one guy. I didn't like one guy there, but otherwise people were really fantastic there. And the next one, this is from the first forest exercise in army. I'm there with my gun. Oh my, I'm very serious looking even. The thing is that in beginning, it was not that serious really. We did exercises, but we didn't have, real ammunition. Of course you can't handle real ammunition to people in the first days. But yeah, this is me in the forest, just having my rifle on my hands and looking very terrifying. Then, me at the final days. Yeah, perhaps the change is, I might look a little sadder in this later picture, but that's how it goes. The more time you go by, the less fun it gets. Unfortunately, but that's about the pictures really. I have to tell you, the people say the army is tough, and it is tough. You go so much through physical stress and mental stress throughout the army time you have, and it's nasty. It's going to eat you in long run. How strong you might be in those both things. Not in many cases you have both physical strength and mental strength, mental power very high. So that's the thing. Army socially is kind of like a guerrilla group. There's these alpha males who want to show their testosterone power, and I don't blame them. If I would have a lot of lifting power, I would do it. I would certainly, brag about it, but I'm not that physical guy. Like, I lost a lot of weight, I have to tell you. You might see it. I was like some kind of, I had a lot of weight, unfortunately. But I lost it. I'm glad. Hopefully in the next 6 months I won't be gaining more. I make sure that I won't, but let's hope for the best. I just want to go to test does my audio work, because sometimes I just do audio and sometimes it doesn't work. Let me just open the YouTube and see it. Please comment if you can hear my audio. I can't hear it myself. Let me just test it quickly. Let's just listen. Just a moment. Damn it, you really don't know, do you listen, do you speak or do you not speak? That's why I really have to be sure. Damn it, we have this gap in the between. Just a wait, I can't hear it myself. Wonderful, I can hear myself, so let's continue. I want to get this thing going forward. I hope you're enjoying this. So I'm not that physical guy, but still I was able to endure. There were these people who had, there was this one fat guy who I thought he would be going away from the very first weeks, because not all survived the army time. Many people quit, and I thought that fat guy would quit. But he survived to the end. Like, I just have to raise my hat. That's like a phrase in Finnish to say I honor that guy. I really honor the endurance of that particular person. He was able to survive that long. People teased him a lot. People were nasty. But I'm, endurance can come from weird places. Because some very physical looking guys, even they quit. Even they ended the whole army. It's weird. It is weird. Even though you have the physical mass, even though you have the strength, but if the mental part of yourself is not right, then it's not going to be a happy time for you. But before I continue further, I want to say that army is very humane in Finland. They really take care of you. You know, it's not like in those American films, the sergeants just shout you like, ah, 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 ah. No. It's still, it has the army spirit. It's not like everybody's like, oh, how are you today? Would you like to have some cup of tea? No, it's going to be rough, but we are more practical, I guess, and more practicality means it has to be more humane because the whole nationwide, the people go to the army, have to go to the army. So, following this later statements, what I will say might sound that it's a very terrifying place, but I assure you that they really listened to us, and if there was a problem, or if somebody was harassed, they really took care of that. But that said, I want to say there were some bad people in there. Some people, questionable, at the least. Many people, like, this is not a very big thing, but many people were talking behind your back. It's so toxic atmosphere, especially if you are outside of those main, excuse me, main groups. People are so toxic. But, you know, like, I'm not usually in the mainstream, you know, people groups, the macho boys. Like, I try to get into those, but that's not that interesting stuff to talk about. Like, of course, they talk about girls. Like, I'm not against that. But most of the things, they just talk about new FIFA and, you know, all those other games. And a lot of gambling, a lot of drinking. Like, it's not bad, but like, just talking about, you know, I'm not into that. But, yeah. Like, that's why I didn't get into those groups. But there were other people. There were these people who tried to test you all the time. And I'm not talking about sergeants. I'm talking about other, you know, like regular army guys like me. And they tried to rule over you. In my group, in my old group, I had this one nasty guy who just, the first day we met, he came at me and started to poke finger at me. Oh. Like, that's not really anything. But it grew. It was nothing at first. It grew. It started to get more physical, you know, pushing, and also, you know, talking very nicely, and stuff like that. In other words, he started harassing me. I needed to act. So, you know, in the past, I have always kept, I've been very, you know, physical looking. I might not be the most physical guy, but I'm very big. Like, I might be very intimidating. So, people who don't know me might fear me and don't perhaps, you know, start teasing me. In army, I kept space between people. There were these guys who, you know, went to poke people, but I always did a very strong reaction, so people avoided that. And I'm glad I did that because people, so many people were harassed because they first let people do small things. But this one nasty guy didn't care about that. Until after he almost hit my eye with a broom when we were cleaning the place, you know, the barracks, and he almost hit my eye with a broom. And I was not happy with that. I took him against wall. Like, I didn't hit him or anything. But let's just say it was kinda uncomfortable with him. Surprise! He ended harassing me. So that's good. And I learned you sometimes need to be tough, you know, to get rid of those kind of people. Because there are nasty people out there. People are monsters sometimes. Even though they might not realize it, but there are some nasty people out there. So, you know, be careful of those people. In another case, one guy in second group, he was constantly, you know, this didn't happen to me, but he was constantly put behind a closet door, and people made, hit him physically and mocked him. He tried to show that he didn't matter and he had fun while doing it, but it looked harassing to me. And I would have been very pissed if something like that happened. But it's a coping strategy, I think. If you are, if somebody comes to you and says, "Oh," and if somebody harasses you, it's natural to just laugh and but behind that laugh, there's something more sinister. And that never went anywhere because he didn't act. Other bad things, the harassment, of course. People liked gambling a lot, drinking alcohol. That this may seem like, oh, Elias, this is basic, but you don't know. People have mobile phones nowadays. They don't go to gamble machines, but they just hundreds and hundreds of euros I saw flying through my eyes when I saw these people playing money games, gamble games, and so much wasted money. Drinking, yes, of course, you wouldn't be able to smuggle drinks to the barracks, but some people who got vacations just went the night and went to pubs and came back whole drunk, not nasty looking. No, what did I say? It didn't look very good. I have to tell you. And one weird fact, people do these gay jokes in army. Like, I don't know, is it a normal to people to say, "Oh, let's go to sleep in the same bed," or something like that. But like one occasion, you see people in underwear in army because people go to showers and you live with them and you get used to that. But sometimes, like 2 times in army, people just say, "Oh, Elias, you look so sexy," like, and not even sounding joking. Like I can see if people joke, but man, I'm not against gay people, but it just makes me uncomfortable, kind of, yeah. Hearing that kind of jokes, people saying like that, yeah. But there are nice people, I have to tell you, very, very nice people. One guy who was applying to law school, I met him and we had really nice discussions. We didn't, however, share the same political views, but I'm super glad that I was still able to have decent conversations with sane people with all the clash of ideologies, because many times, especially nowadays, if you disagree with somebody, they start to hate you and stuff, but we could still, be friends and all that, aside from political differences. Also, a lot of people from ethnic minorities, those are Finnish people as well, like blacks, people from Near East, surprisingly a lot of women. It's not mandatory in Finland for women to go to army, but still people did it. And some people were nasty. Of those people who were nasty, some were very nice. We had this one great black Muslim in our group. He actually led one of 3 guys in our group. There are these big group leaders who just lead the whole group, and then there are these sub-leaders who lead part of the group, kinda. So he was leading part of the group, and he was very social. He was quite opposite from the stereotypes you sometimes hear. Everybody wanted to chat with him, and he was very popular, I have to tell you that. Also, I met this one really funny truck driver. I talk a lot with him, Not many times I meet truck drivers, I have to tell you that. But one sin he had. He liked Pirates of Caribbean, the newest film. Oh, that almost made me hate him. No, not really, but yeah, not my film taste. This one guy who was like Okay, this is not a good, good guy, but still, I met this one very interesting guy who was like a Wormtail from Harry Potter. If you know that Wormtail, kind of a character. I don't know, do you know Harry Potter and stuff? But I think that's the closest description I have for that guy. He was so trying to appease socially more bigger guys and smack down people who, socially of course, who were kind of not people didn't like those. So he was trying to trash people at the same time as licking others' butt, and not very good. I have to tell you. Let me just test it. Let me just test one thing. At the same time as licking. So people are like this. People are like this. Also, there was this Russian macho, not very bright, but he was something. He was very strong. Like sometimes you meet these kind of people. Yeah, but anyways, what do you think about the army experiences? If you have any ideas, if you have any questions, let me know. I will be answering every single thing you have in mind. And this is Hangout. After all, you can send comments here, and I will answer. Currently, we have a few viewers because I didn't tell that I would be streaming, and that's okay. But I will continue nonetheless because I want to make this a tradition. I hope you are enjoying if you are watching this afterwards. Because my goal is to make this very close to a video which you might watch, comparing to a stream which you just you usually watch, while it's live. So, there was also this Chinese looking guy from London. He didn't speak Finnish even. But he had the passport, I guess, so that's why you had to go to army. If you have Finnish passport and you're male, guess you have where you have to go. Somewhere you have to go to military service or something like that. Also, there was this very gossip guy. Guy who always gossiped about people. He was strong, but he always, behind backs was talking about people all the time. He couldn't be stopped by, people of course gossip because men in army gossip even more than women. You don't even know how much that happens. But, that's a stereotype again. Women gossip, but men do it. So, there are two words in Finland. I already mentioned rötvääminen, which is this resting while there's nothing to do and you're stressed. Then there's this konahdus, which means that when your motivation ends, you look like this. You just walk in army uniform day after day after day. You don't have motivation. That's konahdus. Finnish has so many great words. Vempaus, which means being sick. You have these blue Smurf-colored uniforms, which are normally, exercising uniforms. But if you are sick, instead of army uniform, you wear that, and it's kind of a shame to wear it. And in the same time, they try to make it being sick more, shameful. There's a problem with that, but I can understand why they do it. Motivation wemppa. People pretending to be sick. This means that you are wemppa, but motivation wemppa, called move, means you are pretending to be one, and that drains army. That is not good to army, because if you are sick, but when there's motivation wempa people, it means that it's going to drain resources from really taking care of the sick people, and that's why it's hard to get medicine even if you are sick. You have to have a really high fever or something if they're going to give you anything. I learned a lot in army, how to use guns, grenades, basic army stuff. I learned how to fight alongside with people. As I was a Jaeger, Jaeger means being in front lines. In Finnish history there was this word Jaeger which comes from the fact that Finnish military people first, when Finnish was just becoming independent, they went to train in Germany. Germany wanted Germany gave funds to Finnish independence movement because of their own interest, because they wanted to counter Russia. And what better way to do that, just have an independent Finnish nation. You know, Germany liked that. So that's why they trained us back in the day, and that's why the Jaeger word is still there. My specialty in army, I was trained to be, special with communication, over and out and stuff, communicating with people in battlefield, that kind of stuff, people were able to affect their roles, I could chose to be a sniper, or with machine gun, or just basic Jaeger, but I had no choice. My supervisors, those nasty people, they made me into messenger and laughed afterwards. I'm not kidding. They laughed. And now I know why. I really know. So, that is all the bad stuff in army. People died in army. I'm not kidding. 5 people died. Not from accidental grenade explosions or people shooting each other. No, these are from accidents like truck driving against a train in a snowstorm, someone getting a brain infarct while running a running test, and these kind of things. Like, these things happen. What do you expect? People, in other armies, the people die as well. But that's why they have a lot of safety precautions. And I'm glad they have that. No, I would have died in army. That's nasty. Personally, there was this one nasty moment. I'm even ashamed to tell you, but, it was last night. It was 2 a.m. At one point, it was the last night. And people started shouting, somebody shit their pants in the last night, and the whole room was, it smelled so bad. We had to clean, I don't really want to talk about that anymore. People are like animals, really. Like, I wouldn't want to tell this, but this is true. People fought a lot. It's like orc army. If you have seen Lord of the Rings, it's not like these great army guys watching. People are like orcs. Really, behind the uniforms. I'm so glad that's not the case any longer. I can get away from that. So, one thing which was very nice, we were showed this new Unknown Soldier film. Unknown Soldier, aka Tuntematon Sotilas, is this very classic Finnish film, but it has been remastered with the new technology. And I have to tell you, it's very good. I'm going to show you the trailer of it. And I really say it was good. Usually Finnish acting and Finnish films, they are mediocre at best. But this was good. This was actually good. Yeah. I recommend to people who want to know about Finnish history to watch it. Let's just see the trailer. And I think you liked. I hope you liked. So first, let me just have my video capturing service here. Oh, yeah. So, people, let's have a look. Unknown Soldier. There are subtitles. It's spoken in Finnish, not dubbed. I hope you enjoy.
Mihin tässä sit ollenkaan lähdetään? Vissi helvetti asti.
The uniforms are real, like from the time, and they have Germany look because Jaeger. Yeah.
Miksi ette antaneet meidän olla rauhassa?
Töitä te aloititte. Suomen sotilas vastaa 10 ryssää. Mutta mitäs sitten tehdään, kun tulee se 11?
I want to just say, you know, those back scenes, you know, like that foxholes and all, we have, you know, just the same. And the equipment, aside from the clothing, is quite similar. They have even tents, which are, you know, used by army. So, you know, when I watched this at the theater first time, it gave me goosebumps. Yeah, but back to the tape.
Suomen pojat, tulkaa hakemaan leipää!
Tuu sinä hakemaan leipäs päälle voita!
That was a propaganda talk from Russian side to Finnish side, and yeah. Okay, let's move on.
Sota ei yhtä miestä kaipaa, olkoon vähän millainen tahansa.
Tulethan sinä takaisin.
So, one thing I want to, you know, just show you in this, like the thing I'm very intrigued about this film, and I liked it because it was very truthful. I think, you know, the original book, which this is based on, it has this kind of a socialistic approach to the war. This tells about the Winter War and the war after that. Both against Russians. First Russian invaded. We invaded them with Nazi Germany a long time ago, and then they invaded back. You know, there's more about history in that, but you can, you know, read it. I perhaps make a video about that one day, because that's very interesting in history, and I want to talk about that. But one thing which this film does instead of the book is that it's faithful to the history more, because in old book there was this you know, kind of socialistic thing saying like, oh, it's Finnish fault to attack Russia, even though, you know, like it was first from the Russian side when they attacked and so forth. And, you know, Finnish people, they do, you know, when they reach Petrosko and, you know, nasty things, you know, war is war. And I think it's very truthful to both sides. There are clash of ideologies, socialism versus capitalism. I think if you are interested even a bit about Finnish history, you should see this film. I think that is the case. So, it's very faithful in that, but also in looks. You know, the clothing, the talking ways even. You know, this is from Helsinki. I even been there. There's the main cathedral in there. Oh, lovely place. You should, if you visit Helsinki, you should visit that. Also, you know, going forest. Like we didn't ski, but we walked these kind of landscapes on foot. Not very warm, I have to tell you. So they used a lot of, you know, like, look at this. Just look at this. They used a lot of time making this film. And one, I think, milestone this film got was it made a most biggest explosion in film ever made. I think that's the title it did have. So if you're interested about that, have a look. I highly recommend it, especially to, you know, people outside of Finland, because you don't hear this in mainstream media, and you might you know, hear kind of a different story, whether, you know, depending from who you ask. So back to the content. Oh, let me just have my video capturing device. So, that was that. Unknown Soldier. Have a look. I really like that film. You should really, check that out. But the next thing. So, one thing I want to talk about army, is that in some countries people have mercenary armies, and some might see it as good because you don't have to go to army necessarily if you have a mercenary army. But let me ask you this: what army you would like to have? This army of people who voluntarily go up arms and might have, passion for guns and stuff, and they defend you, or instead you defend yourself. I think that's the main clash of ideologies when going army versus, just kind of an army which you, conscript versus the other possibilities, because, it's the army is important for independent nations. If you want to stay free and have country ruled by, you might say this like very propagandistic, whatever. That is my opinion. Hello, Decora. Welcome. How's it going? Welcome to this stream. It has been quiet, but I have not said that I would do this, but I will start doing these hangout streams much more. And this topic of today is that I'm going away from army. Whole stream we have been talking about experiences, films, pictures about army. I think pretty interesting. But welcome, great to have you. How is it going? Yes, the army. Yes, it's I think better than mercenaries forming the army, I guess. Somebody's going to take the gun if you don't take it. So like I don't like army. I myself, I hate, using guns, and I prefer peace. But I understand why war is there and why armies are needed. But I hope the war never happens. Like we saw in that last trailer, I hope it never happens. Oh, we have new people here watching. Welcome. How is it going? We have a small stream, but still I love talking with people, and I would love to hear your thoughts. I feel nice. Finally over. Oh, yes. Nice to hear that you feel nice. Any particular reason for that? Or just, generally nice? But anyways, army's over. I'm happy. Never going back there. Perhaps if war comes, I have to. Let's hope that never happens. But otherwise, I'm away from there. I was surprised how my foreign friends thought about army. I had this kind of idea in background that people perhaps like you, I don't know, are you from outside of Finland or inside Finland, but people might see army as a very negative thing. They might see me as a, dumb monkey just having a gun on my hands and running in the front lines and, that kind of stereotypical picture. But I was, people were very positive. I shared a lot of pictures in Instagram and Facebook, and people are like, saying very nice comments and, you can do it, just a few more days left, and these kind of comments. I love that. And I thank you also receiving those from you, people from YouTube. I thank you. Yes, it's, army, in Finland there was this kind of movement against army at some point, but after Ukrainian crisis, Russia, kind of invading Ukraine, that changed. What did you learn during the army? Did you think about yourself? Well, the biggest thing I realized that I could really use gun. I could really shoot people. Like, it was so distant for me, and it might be distant for you, but the guns are not that weird. They are pretty simple, really. In the first days of army, you are taught to put it together and take it apart by part, and it's weird the way you I sound like a gun lunatic or somebody, but hear me out. It's weird. It gives you kind of this empowering feeling when you put your gun together. You put you get the ammunition, and then you can really take down the target very far away. You know, it's not living target, but really you are capable when you use guns. I think that is something I was, you know, it was very distant to me. I didn't have any experience of that, but army taught that and gave me kind of a idea that I could really endure and survive in war. That's, you know, like I had this background idea that first day of army, I go there, oh, bullet goes in my head and I die. Like in real war, of course, not in army, you know, exercises, but I thought I would be first to die. But I have a little more confidence, I guess. So I think that I realized. Also, there's this one thing. What was it? When you go through army, these exercises where you are given stuff, a lot of stuff, you know, you have to take care of, you know, all the guns, all the equipment, helmets, all these things. You have to take care of those, and also you have to take care of yourself. You know, you have to exercises. You have to just endure, and I learned that I can go through that. It's a kind of a realization that you are able to take care of yourself in a forest, middle of nothing, no electricity. You are able to, you know, sleep, no tent, in the middle of winter. That gave me confidence to just continue in other parts of life as well. I think that's important part many people don't talk about. But yeah, that is the thing which I was left after the army. But, you know, I prefer peace. I hope war never happens. So guys, I've had a really fun stream today. There's so many people came, and great to have, you know, oh, Dagra, wow. Yeah, it's I think it's experience worth going through. After all, hard experiences are worth living. You know, think about your experiences which have taught you things, experiences which you think are valuable. Those are the hardest ones, don't you think? You know, learning how to, you know, play piano in front of crowd. What is the worst human mistake? It is, but it's kind of, you know, like it's bad. I don't want it. But big powers, they fight over territory. You know, it's that happens, and it's like it's part of our, you know, human culture. Like it's I hate to say it, but you know, over the human history, people have fought for wars, and throughout the years they have just kept getting more ways to kill each other. Ugh, nasty. But that's how the human work. But I guess we have to live with that, continue forward, and try our best to survive as human beings. Hey people, this has been pretty great stream. I went through my notes. I had to, you know, I prepared a lot for this stream. I went through a list of notes. We went through videos and pictures, but my list is going to end. And that is why I'm going to say you, it was pretty great stream. We are going to make more of eluukkanen hangout sessions in the future, and I hope to see you then. I thank you, Dagora, for having a nice conversation, and wherever you are, I wish you a great day. I'm glad the army is over. See you later, guys. Oh, one thing of course, you have to do some mistakes. I want to show this. So, in next streams and so forth, I want you to say that my patrons did a lot of support for me. I got, in army time, 3 patrons supporting me financially. Bye-bye, Dagora. Bye-bye, Dagora. But, you know, I thank you, these people. These people, of course, everyone who watches and subscribes, but these people go to the next level. I thank you, Mikael Nisle, Petter Rantala, Roxiox, Felix Ungman, Bem Ritman, and Bob Gagin. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, patrons. I wish you a great day. See you later.